Hi, this is Brandon from Watches on You. Today we're taking a look at the Casio G-Shock MT-G B1000B. Now, this is one of the higher end G-Shock models. It has a retail price of $900, but before I start this review, I want to mention that we are at Continental Diamond in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. We'll be dropping a link in the description to their website if you want to inquire about purchasing this piece or any other G-Shock model. They're an authorized retailer of G-Shock, Breitling, and many other premium brands. So definitely I would encourage you to check that out. Additionally, I would like to remind you that I currently have a Kickstarter for a watch that I personally designed running. The Kickstarter ends on October 14th, the morning of October 14th. This is the Hoagland & Sons Mark I chronograph. It has a mechanical quartz hybrid movement. So as you can see, it has a smooth seconds hand, and when you reset the watch, the seconds hand flies back right to 12 o'clock. Just like a mechanical watch, but it actually has a quartz escapement, so it's super accurate as well. Additionally, it has a tachymeter scale for speed calculations on the dial, as well as time zone and unit conversion scales on the case back. I really wanted to make this watch as useful as possible for traveling. The watch actually has a very affordable price of $149 on Kickstarter, but that price will go up after the Kickstarter campaign succeeds to $249. So it does behoove you to make a purchase as soon as possible. So now let's move on to the G-Shock MT-G B1000B. So this is, as I said, one of the higher end G-Shock models, and it has a variety of features that make it just one of the toughest watches that you can possibly buy and one of the most accurate watches you can possibly buy. So not only can the watch be set through the G-Shock Connected app through a Bluetooth connection with your smartphone, but it actually also has, it can access 6 different radio frequencies around the world, and it will automatically set itself essentially. So it's very, very accurate, and it will stay accurate. Additionally, it has it is solar powered, so you're never going to run out of battery or anything like that. It's just one of the toughest, just most reliable timepieces that I've really come across. Additionally, it has this selection of the standard G-Shock features. One notable exception of this is a display, so it does not have any kind of like compass tracking or something like that display. In fact, it does not actually have a compass as well, so that's another interesting kind of choice that they decided to have on this piece. However, it does have a unique world time complication that I'll be demonstrating a little bit shortly. So you have the typical kind of stopwatch, which actually runs just like a standard chronograph. So you hit the top pusher to start the chronograph, and then to stop it as well, and then you can reset using the bottom pusher. But as you saw, it kind of slid back. That's typical of quartz chronographs, and the watch that I designed, as you saw, it flew back to 12 o'clock. Now, obviously, those watches do not compete against each other. If you took a hammer to my watch, it would probably break. But this watch, on the other hand, you could pretty much take really anything to it. It's never going to break. It's a little bit different market, but I thought I'd include that comparison. So moving on to the mode, again, we have a timer feature, an alarm feature, and a battery setting, as you can see there. But then it also gives you the day of the week as well if you hit that button. So that's a useful feature. Furthermore, getting into the world time complication, so this watch does actually have a physical crown, but that crown does not actually directly set the hands, again, because it's super accurate. It can kind of tap into radio frequencies as well as through the G-Shock Connected app. You can get atomic time as well. So if you pull up the crown to one position, it controls this subdial at 6 o'clock, which is one time zone, and you can see the time zones are labeled around the dial on that bezel. So if I move the crown, the seconds hand will move to different time zones, and as you can see, the time will be reset on that subdial. If I pull the crown out one more time, it'll actually set the main hands in the same exact way. So I'm moving it to a different time zone. You can see the main hands will switch positions to the time in that time zone. So that's a really cool and useful feature. I think that sometimes G-Shock watches can get a little bit overcomplicated, particularly those with the displays, but I think that this more analog version is very easy to use. It only took me about 5 minutes to figure out how to use it, and I think it's a really kind of tough and robust piece. Now moving on to a wrist shot here. This watch was specifically designed to fit the wrist very nicely. However, one criticism I have is that you can't customize this watch with different straps. You can see it's kind of got the standard G-Shock thing where you can't actually pull the strap flat. That's about as flat as it will go. But that does make for a very nice fit around your wrist. And it's a very tough fit as well. I mean, you can see there's little reinforcing kind of fibers there, so it really holds the strap on the piece, and it makes it a really tough watch. So I really do understand why they did that. In terms of sizing, it's supposed to be wear slightly smaller than most G-Shock models, as it says on the website, and it definitely does, but it's still quite large by modern wristwatch standards. However, again, if you have a slightly smaller wrist, it actually might look okay. I would recommend checking it out at a retailer such as Continental Diamond to just really get it fit to your wrist, but I think that you should be fine with that. So, in conclusion, this is a great watch. It retails for $900. You can see the detail that they put into the piece. The overall quality of the finishing is far superior to most other less expensive G-Shock models, and that's what really justifies that price, in addition to the Bluetooth connectivity and things like that. So if you like this video, remember to like, subscribe, and share. Definitely check out Continental Diamond's website and give them a call, or come into the store in St. Louis Park, Minnesota, so you can see all their G-Shock models. They have, I mean, a ton I cannot even begin to describe, and it's really been fun to kind of get to learn the brand, because there wasn't really a retailer of G-Shock in Minnesota to really the scope that Continental is before this, so we're really excited to get to review more of these. Additionally, remember to check out the Kickstarter campaign for the Hoagland & Sons Mark I chronograph. Thank you for watching.